So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. So guys, I'm pretty sure all of you guys saw the Tyson Fury and Billy Joe Saunders clip. I found it hilarious. Tyson Fury said that, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom are up Canelo's, you know what. And he goes, they want Canelo to win this fight. All they're doing, he goes, on their website, it's all Canelo, 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 Canelo. And he goes, Eddie Hearn, do you even promote Billy Joe? You know what? And I was like, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. They are ripping Hearn. And then and then Billy Joe called Hearn, you lying, you know what? It was brilliant. It was a brilliant little clip, but I'm pretty sure Eddie Hearn looking at that is probably not that happy, if I'm honest with you. If I was Eddie Hearn looking at that, I would not be happy. Especially the fact that Billy Joe got involved as well. I think the fact that Tyson Fury said that, I don't think Eddie Hearn would care, but I think with Billy Joe saying what he said, because I do think, listen, I understand where Billy Joe's coming from. Like, I understand he wants a fair shake and the judges, etc. and all of that. But on the other hand, you got to look at it that Billy Joe was craving a big fight for a very long time, right? And Eddie Hearn delivered it. Eddie Hearn delivered that big fight. Let's not forget, last year, Billy Joe was supposed to fight Canelo Alvarez, but then COVID hit. Eddie Hearn, a year later, has delivered him the biggest fight of his life. I think that in itself, Eddie Hearn deserves a little respect for that. The fact that he's got Billy Joe to fight that, like Frank Warren was struggling to deliver. The reason why Billy Joe joined Eddie Hearn is to get the big fight with a Canelo. And Eddie Hearn's delivered that. He's delivered that. And bearing in mind, let's not forget, I know Eddie Hearn delivered for Callum Smith, but let's not forget that Eddie Hearn has a lot of other fighters like Andrade that also want the Canelo fight. So he's got a lot of fighters that he's got to deliver for. And he's delivered. He's delivered for Billy Joe. Now, it's for Billy Joe to go in there and put in the performance. It's for Billy Joe to go in there and show us how good he is. But I'm pretty sure Eddie Hearn's looking at that and probably not that impressed. I'm pretty certain he'd be fairly upset, actually. I think with Tyson Fury, it's a funny relationship that Eddie Hearn has with Tyson Fury. I don't know whether Tyson Fury just does it to troll him or just to get under his skin, because Eddie Hearn told everyone recent that he just had a sit down with Tyson Fury and they were having a mature debate. But then all of a sudden you'll see Tyson Fury put out a clip just slamming Hearn and take it. I don't know whether he's just on the wind up. I don't know. Because surely, like, when you're talking like that about someone, you think you don't like them at all. And surely Eddie Hearn probably looks at Tyson Fury and thinks, is this guy being for real? Like, I just sat down with him the other day and I'm pretty certain that Tyson Fury don't talk like that to him when he's off the camera. I'm pretty sure he's quite down to earth and pretty cool. And it seems like that from the way Eddie Hearn talks about him when they have the face-to-face and sit down. He met Tyson Fury and he had a sit down with him. And from what Eddie Hearn was saying, that was a really good conversation. And it was clear that he wanted the AJ fight bad. And they had a really good conversation. And everything was really great. But then you see Tyson Fury put out a clip like that, right? Literally ripping Hearn. And then, I mean, Billy Joe getting involved and saying what he said, I just don't think that's a smart thing to do, because Eddie Hearn will feel aggrieved. He'll feel that I delivered this guy the fight that he wanted for all those years. And I understand, like I said, Billy Joe wants to get a fair shake with the judges and stuff, but that's going to be what it's going to be. Eddie Hearn's going to, apparently that's another thing I wanted to talk about, is that Eddie Hearn responded to Billy Joe saying that he signed up for one Mexican judge, one English judge, and one another judge. And Eddie Hearn said that's not true. Eddie Hearn basically said Billy Joe knows exactly what he signed. He goes, Billy Joe hasn't signed anything that's not been delivered. So I know a lot of Billy Joe fans are saying that I don't know what's in the contract. But Hearn didn't come across that he was lying. The other thing I was thinking, if it was in the contract, that would be breach of contract. Right? If it's in the contract, that was in the contract, that would be breach of contract. But listen, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs, so I can't speculate, can I? I don't know what was in the contract. So it's like him against him. You know, who do you believe? But Eddie Hearn has responded and said that there was nothing like that in the contract, and he's basically saying that everything that is being adhered to, like he basically said that we are the best in the business. We don't rip people off. You know, he goes, ask any fighter, look at our track record. And listen, that is one thing with Hearn, that Eddie Hearn has done a lot of things over handshakes. Look at the relationship he had with Bellew, with Dillian Whyte, and all these guys carried on working with him. All these guys still work with Eddie Hearn. All these guys say very positive things about Eddie Hearn. Look, Dillian Whyte in the past has had rough times with Eddie Hearn. But Dillian Whyte, as he says, we have a great working relationship. We have a great business relationship. Look how much money Eddie Hearn's made Dillian Whyte. And many people would say Dillian Whyte, some people say he's not world class. I think Dillian Whyte's a really quality fighter. I think he's improved a lot. But he's never been a world champion, yet look how much money Eddie Hearn's made him. Pay-per-view star. So Eddie Hearn knows how to promote fighters. And usually, listen, every promoter's in it for themselves. Every promoter's looking to make money. So the fact that Eddie Hearn wants Canelo to win, and I think they're right. I think Fury and Saunders are right in that about that. Because obviously Canelo brings, I know Eddie Hearn's saying that I don't want Canelo to win. I personally disagree with that. I think he knows that Canelo's the biggest star in the sport. But at the end of the day, look at it from the other side. If Canelo was to lose the fight, the rematch is humongous. The rematch is the biggest fight in boxing. And how much money will Eddie Hearn make with that? So Eddie Hearn wins regardless. Because if Billy Joe wins, the rematch will be even bigger. And guess what? Eddie Hearn's going to promote the rematch. So, like I said, I think Eddie Hearn's in a win-win. He promotes both fights. The only thing is, if Billy Joe was to win and then Billy Joe was to leave Hearn, which could be a possibility, because I don't know whether Billy Joe is happy with the way Eddie, I'm not sure he's happy, and he said in one of the interviews, we'll see after the fight what we're going to do. And it seemed like was he hinting at the fact that he may consider leaving? I don't know. I think if he loses, I don't think Eddie will care. I don't think Eddie will care if he leaves, because Eddie's got so many fighters. Like, why would he care? And then Billy wouldn't be a world champion as well. So Eddie Hearn won't care, if I'm honest with you. But if he was to win and then he was to leave, I don't think he would leave, because I think the money would be so big, right, in the rematch, that I just think it would be hard for Billy Joe to turn down. I think remember, Billy Joe could potentially literally, because Canelo's gonna, if Canelo loses, Canelo's gonna want the rematch badly, because that's just the character Canelo is. Canelo's gonna want the rematch to set the record straight. There's no way Canelo's gonna say, you know, I don't want the rematch. He's gonna want the rematch. But then if Billy Joe has a fight-to-fight contract, I don't know what agreement Billy Joe has with Eddie Hearn. If it's a fight-to-fight basis, I won't be surprised, or this is the end of his contract with Eddie Hearn, I won't be surprised if he leaves. And I do think if he was to lose, he'll leave, possibly could leave as well. Because I don't think he's that happy with the way that he's been promoted, in the sense that he feels that, you know, Eddie's favouring Canelo. But at the end of the day, Billy Joe's got to understand that Canelo's the biggest star in the sport. Like, any promoter, if Billy Joe was with Bob Arum and Canelo was with Bob Arum would be the same. Every other promoter would be the same, because they know the kind of financial rewards are attached with Canelo. They know the kind of financial mileage that's attached with Canelo. Like, Eddie Hearn contract runs out with Canelo after this fight. Eddie Hearn may not promote Canelo's next fight. Now, Canelo has said that he feels like he'll work with Hearn for a long time, but he may not. He may do his own thing with Caleb Plant, because that's why Canelo's not signing huge deals with anyone, because he doesn't want to get tied down. He wants to be his own. He wants to be his own boss. He doesn't want to be tied down with anybody. He doesn't want to, be tied down with Matchroom or tied down with anyone. He wants to do fight-to-fight deals, because that makes more sense. And actually, he'll probably make more money that way as well. So for me, see, Canelo Alvarez, normally Eddie Hearn says that fight-to-fight deals are not great because Eddie Hearn won't invest as much time. But the thing is, Canelo's such a big star that even if he signs a fight-to-fight deal with promoters will give their arm and leg, because they know the kind of money that he could generate, one fight could generate. Why do you think Eddie Hearn's doing all this for Canelo? Because Eddie Hearn knows that Canelo, brings a lot of financial reward. And I think Eddie Hearn in the last 1 or 2 weeks has kind of backed off a little bit, because I think Billy Joe has said some of the things that he said, and Eddie Hearn's thinking like, maybe I was coming across a bit impartial. Let me just step back a little bit, because obviously everyone was accusing him of, being a Canelo fanboy and supporting Canelo, wanting Canelo to win. But at the end of the day, right, he's a promoter, he's a businessman, and his job, he wants to make money. And Canelo's the biggest star in the sport, right? When Anthony Joshua fought Dillian, like if Anthony Joshua was to fight Dillian White again, right? Look how much money Eddie Hearn's made out of Dillian White. Yet he's not made a fraction of that with Billy Joe, right? Eddie Hearn would obviously be supporting Anthony Joshua, even though he has a very close relationship with Dillian White. It's a fact. He's got a very close relationship with Anthony Joshua, which he doesn't have with Dillian White. His relationship with Anthony Joshua seems a lot stronger from the way he says. He's openly said that he's my number one heavyweight, and then Dillian White second. He's openly said it to Dillian White's face. So I think Dillian knows that, and he doesn't mind. But Dillian just wants a fair shake and wants an opportunity to beat Anthony Joshua. Because if Dillian beats Anthony Joshua, then everything changes, right? So, from my point of view, I feel like Eddie Hearn's done a great job in terms of getting Billy Joe that fight. I know Billy Joe probably feels a bit aggrieved. He feels, and Tyson Fury making that video was hilarious. Probably feels that he's wanting Canelo to win. But like I said to some guy that in my Facebook group, that if you were put yourself in Eddie Hearn's shoes, what would you do? I know everyone's slamming him and talking bad about Eddie Hearn, but Eddie Hearn's a brilliant promoter, and he's done such great things for boxing, right? He delivers big fights. For me, he's the best promoter out there right now. Why wouldn't you want to be with Eddie Hearn, right? Why wouldn't you want to be with Eddie Hearn? Everyone wants to be with Eddie Hearn. Everyone, because they know that look at the relationship Eddie Hearn had with Amir Khan over the years. Look at the relationship they had. Bad relationship. Like, it seemed like bad, but then Amir Khan joined forces with Hearn after when he got beat by Canelo. When he had his comeback little 3 fights, he joined with Eddie Hearn. Because he knows that Eddie Hearn's doing his thing out there. So he knew that if I want to get the attention, want to get the fame, want to get promoted by a guy, and I even said that, imagine if Eddie Hearn was big when Amir Khan was in his prime. Imagine with Eddie Hearn's promoting skills, even though Khan was big and big name, but he could have been even bigger with a marketing machine like someone like a promoter like Eddie Hearn. Even though I think Khan had good promoters, Warren was a good promoter at that point, and Oscar De La Hoya. But he would have been even bigger, like with someone with the passion, with Eddie Hearn, he would have been even bigger. Because Eddie Hearn is that great. Eddie Hearn's a great promoter. And I think you're stronger with him than without him. I don't think, that's what I believe. And that's not discrediting Frank Warren, because Frank Warren's a great promoter as well. And I feel he's done some great things. Look at how big a star Anthony Yard is. Look how big Frank Warren's made Anthony Yarde, and he's done that with a guy with not much amateur experience, and Yarde's a huge name. People know. I know he's not. He fought for a world title, and I know he lost. But when you think about it, Yarde's got 2 losses. He lost to Lyndon Hoffer, still a huge star, huge name. Frank Warren's done that. So Frank Warren's a really good promoter. Don't get it twisted. Look at the job that he did with Tyson Fury on his comeback. Frank Warren's done good things, but Eddie Hearn's just is on another level for me. His promotional skills is on another level right now. He's confident. He's got a great team. He's got a great setup in the US and the UK, and he's doing a great job. And I can understand that Billy Joe feels aggrieved, but I honestly think Billy Joe's got it in his own hands. I think he's going to make a lot of money. Eddie Hearn's provide him an opportunity that's going to pay him a lot of money. And he's going to get paid, as Eddie Hearn said, that, look at our track record. And listen, may the best man win. But it's just brilliant, them trolling Hearn. I'm really looking forward to the press conference. I don't know if they're going to have a face-to-face press conference. I don't know. Or whether it's going to be online. But it's going to be really interesting to see whether there's any mind games played by Billy Joe on Canelo. Because Canelo's just come out, and I did a video about it today, that Canelo's come out and said, losers look for excuses and stuff. So Canelo's obviously knows that Billy Joe's saying what he's saying. And he's come back with a statement countering what Billy Joe was saying. So let's see, man. Let's see if Billy Joe can get under Canelo's skin. I doubt it, because Canelo's cool as a cucumber. But I'm definitely interested in seeing the press conference and see what Billy has to say and what he's going to say to get under Canelo's skin. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, what did you guys make of the Tyson Fury video? I actually found it hilarious. I think it was Tyson Fury is hilarious. Like I said, I don't know his relationship. I don't know what he actually thinks of Eddie Hearn, like off the camera. But when you hear about Eddie Hearn's meetings with Tyson Fury, it seems like they're great meetings. But on camera, Tyson Fury just seems to rip Eddie Hearn for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, I found that video today hilarious. What did you guys make of it though? What did you guys make of the video? What do you make of all this saga that has taken place? I actually think Billy Joe's tried to make a point to the commission, to the judges. He wants to make his point. He wants to make his feelings heard. That he's worried. He's skeptical about who the judges are going to be. So yeah, listen, Billy Joe's done his job. Now it's just about focusing and locking in on the fight. It's obviously a big fight. Hopefully no injuries, no one tests positive or anything like that, and we get a big fight on May the 8th, and may the best man win. Leave your thoughts, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.